Steelers over the Packers at Lambeau. Quite the combination of buffoonery and brilliance, Guy Junker, and they're still alive.
Very entertaining game, no matter how you look at it. And you look at the it kind of is like their season in a whole, Ken. The kickoff return at the end, just when you think they have it won. The 10-point lead in the fourth quarter that they blow. The craziness with the call on the block field goal. I mean, it was you couldn't take your eyes off it, especially when you knew at that point. It really looked like for a while they were going to blow the opportunity when everything else had fallen in their lap. All they had to do was win, and it didn't look like they were going to be able to. You combine the weather, which always adds a little bit of ambience, and that's a pretty memorable day. It was fun.
Well, because we always spin negative here on Sports Talk Radio, let's do the opposite. What impressed you the most about the Steelers' ability to go in there and get only their third road win of the year?
Yeah, Le'Veon Bell's running. I mean, when the 25-yard run where he hurdled a guy, I thought, I'm wondering if there's John sitting at home thinking, that's what I've been looking for. A pretty special day for him. Kind of, you talk about the Lacy battle against him, Ken, and there you have it. Lacy leaves the game early. Bell's numbers were better. That's the reason the Steelers liked him better, and a lot of NFL teams did. So that stands out in my mind. But I think more than anything, not that would be the individual performance. Defensively, Brett Kiesel, the guy that you thought maybe was finished. You'd seen his last in a Steeler uniform. Not only does he get to play, he recovers a key fumble late in the game, had a sack, had a pretty good game. The veteran warrior one last time in the snow. That was pretty cool. But I think the overall thing is they did what they had to do to win, and a couple of times it would have been easy to say,
And almost won despite themselves, but of course the officiating came much into play in the field goal block bizarreness. But at the end of the game, with a chance to take a knee twice and run clock down and kick the go-ahead field goal, albeit they've got to kick a field goal in some weather and would have to kick off with some seconds left, probably get under 10 seconds to go. Mike Tomlin says that he doesn't do that sort of thing. And if they lose that game with that kickoff return, everybody saw the possibility of overtime. Tomlin's getting crushed this morning.
Think if they kicked the field goal, though, and kicked off, and that same return is happening before your eyes, and you're not sure if Thomas is going to catch him and tackle him. For a couple, you could be thinking this game, you're going to lose this game right here in this kickoff return.
Right.
I don't have as much problem with that whole line of thinking. I go for the touchdown myself.
Wow.
The odds, and here's why. I don't think kicking a field goal in those conditions is as automatic as an extra point normally would be, which was the distance. I could see it both ways. But I don't think it's a slam dunk that he screwed up by scoring the touchdown. I don't think that.
Well, I mean, worst case scenario, though, you get under 10 seconds. If you miss the field goal, it's going to overtime anyway. I mean, I don't know. To me,
yeah.
In that scenario, you get in that scenario where you make them now go the long field for the touchdown, but also with a timeout to be saved. And heck, they were aggressive before then. They didn't run 3 plays and burn all the Green Bay timeouts.
What down they scored a touchdown on? Second?
Yeah, they were lucky they didn't score.
I'm thinking
first.
maybe you take one knee, make it third down, then try to get the touchdown, then you burn off another, and if you don't get it, then kick the field goal on fourth down. Or if you kick it on third down and there's a screw-up, you get a second. There's a lot of things that can happen there. I don't think it's as blatant a mistake as I've heard a lot of people on the Steeler postgame show and even driving in today seem to think.
Well, they were aggressive throughout the game, and they were 4th and 1, went for it on their side of the field, a big catch.
The fake punt was brilliant.
Yeah, so
Matt McBrary throws better than he kicks.
Tomlin played to win this weekend. He does win, and he dodges the criticism bullet, and he's found a way to get this team back to 7-8.
You can't. There are no do-overs, but you look at that first month of September, and you have no Heath Miller, you have no Matt Spaeth, Bell is injured. You look back at that now, and this team maybe isn't as bad as we all thought it was. It took a long time to dig out of the hole. But they're 7-4 since. If you could even just play September over and split those 4 games, you go 9-7. I mean, that's a lot. I think the dogs have been called off a little bit, and people wanted Kevin Colbert fired and the coaching staff
Everybody
out.
fired.
LeBeau should retire. Yeah, I think they've weathered the storm at least, especially if they win this week, and even if nobody else does, and you finish 8-8 again. Not what you want for sure, but I think you can, if you're honest with yourself and not just looking through black and gold glasses. You can sort of see why they were so bad so early.
Then again, the Jets have won 7 games, and maybe the AFC just stinks.
Well, the killer is when you look at the teams they lost to, like Oakland and Minnesota with the 4 wins. Those are games that I don't care who's hurt or what's happening. You got to come away to win in those.
Well, one more meaningful week. We'll be talking about it later in the week. Merry
Tomlin
Christmas
press conference
all. Happy
today.
holiday. Yep.
He's early today.
Oh,
So.
yeah. It's all going on. Ken and Guy, every weekday, 9 a.m., TribLIVE Radio.